Why should you be the customer for your own product? Is intuition the intersection between entrepreneurship and creativity? How can a combination of consistency and resilience build a brand? This cosmic transmission comes from Charlie Proctor Quigley, an Emporium engineer from Dublin, Ireland. Here, he discusses the creation and ascension of his clothing brand, Emporium.
My first creative kind of thing was like Lego. I used to fucking love Lego. And I'd like kind of ADHD, I'd like follow the path for half of it and then I'd just go freestyle. I'd never finish what I'd begin making via the book. And then in school, I did loads of like obscure subjects, like metalwork. And I actually never did art in school because I was never really good at, well, I was never really sure if I was good at drawing, but I was always scared I wasn't, so I didn't do it.
Interesting.
And then, so I did a lot of like hands-on things in school, like, well, I did do like DCG, which was like architecture drawing. So that's kind of where it began. I studied engineering and I noticed early on that I really didn't like that. Well, no, I didn't like it. I just didn't want to do it.
There's no passion for it.
There's no passion for it.
Yeah.
And then halfway through college, I started to learn to use Adobe and I was like, I can just do this on the side. Yeah.
And so when did the interest in fashion begin?
I was always interested about how I dressed. I think that was always important to me as like a way to express. I always think it's the best way. It's like everyone has an appearance visually that you're given and you can change that with clothes.
Right.
I think it tells a lot about someone when they like, you can see that they've thought about what they wear every day. Versus like, I think it also tells about someone a lot about someone when they don't care about what they're wearing. But then like, what does that say? You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I think it says a lot. Like I'd be someone who thinks they're not putting a lot of effort into what they wear, but I think even that decision holds meaning. And I feel like I've always gotten the impression that you were the opposite. Like that's sort of where your creativity really came to the forefront.
Yeah.
Does that sound accurate or?
Yeah, but like also my mother's she used to work as like a buyer. She used to be a dressmaker.
Oh, really? Okay.
So she was in the fashion world. She'd obviously dress me out, kid me out as a kid.
That's interesting. So it's an early interest in building things mixed with a sort of lifelong interest in fashion and clearly a family connection.
Yeah.
So it feels like a confluence of like these different things that would all make.
Yeah. So like it was first illustrated to do like graphics. Or just like make things. Because I was also like working from like in engineering and like I'd always try to do things that were again on the creative side. So I knew how to use like a lot of 3D software. So then it was like using that knowledge to try like then make stuff in Illustrator in like 2D and then working that backwards to like make graphics and stuff.
And so how does all that experience then shift into you and Robbie starting Emporium?
So Robbie started Emporium as an event for other clothing brands to sell clothes.
Okay.
He thought there was like, he always says he's much better talking about this stuff. He thought there was a gap. Well, he wanted to play like a place where loads of Irish brands could like do an event, but he thought like all the Irish brands on their own wouldn't have enough people going to one event. So if you put 10 of them in the same room,
Right.
you get a proper go at it. And
Is that the name then?
that's why it's called why it's Emporium.
Okay.
Because an Emporium was like a collection of things in one place.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then this is when I was trying to learn how to use Adobe. So I was like, you should do t-shirts or graphics. And he was like, fuck no. And I was like, oh. And then after a few months, I persuaded him that we should do a t-shirt for Emporium.
Okay.
And it was now because me and Robbie worked together
Right.
selling shoes in Offspring
Okay.
downstairs in Brown Thomas
Right.
for like 2.5 years. So we'd stand beside each other talking about shoes and clothes all the time for like whatever, like 30 hours a week. I don't know. We had a part-time job. We both in college.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this all the time until I persuaded him it was a good idea to do t-shirts. And then that like sold better than the brands that were at the pop-up. And then we did a fleece because that seemed like the next easy thing to do. That someone else had made, we could put a logo on.
What do you think it was about the t-shirt that made it sell better than anything else at the pop-up?
I don't think it was anything to do with the t-shirt, but everyone had respect for Robbie
Okay.
for putting on the events. So I think people bought it because they wanted to support Robbie.
Right.
And what was the design of that t-shirt? Did it just say Emporium or?
It was the Chanel bottle one. It had a little Chanel bottle, 10 centimeters wide, and an Emporium and Chanel font underneath it.
Amazing.
I actually found one the other day.
Wow.
And we made 30 of them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's an OG then.
Yeah.
Prized possession, I'd say.
One of them, I don't know where many of them are, but I know
Sure.
Byron had one, my friend. And in Tanzania, he swapped it for a small metal elephant made by a man beside a river. So there is one in the hands of a Tanzanian man somewhere.
That is fantastic.
A piece of elephant art, I guess.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So, okay, so the t-shirt sells great.
Yeah.
And then that, I'm guessing then Robbie's sort of like, okay, we should, and both of you were kind of like, we should do fleece and more.
Yeah, we should do more clothing. And then that must have been 2018. Yeah, that was 2018.
Wow.
So I was 18 or 19. And he was 19 or 20, he's a year older than me. So that was like the first taste. And then over the next 2 years, we did like just bits and bobs again, like learning points. And then we started doing all cut and sew and stuff that must have been 2022.
What is cut and sew?
Sorry, as in like instead of buying the t-shirt, you design the t-shirt.
Okay. So instead of buying in a blank, you're making
It.
Right.
Yeah.
Got you.
And that was probably a large risk. We were still working out of Robbie's front room at that point. Our company still trades in his parents' gaff.
Love that.
It sounds like that's a really hard gap to sort of bridge, going from just buying blanks to making your own clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that work? Did you guys use your connections to make that leap, or?
No, the story behind that's really fucking good, actually. We were in Paris to pretend like we knew things about fashion, and we ended up going into like this streetwear brand that we thought was really cool, a skate brand, and they got a delivery, and we just took a picture of their box, and like it just happened to be like a manufacturer of jersey leisure, which is like hoodies and t-shirts. And we ended up just like emailing these guys and being like, we know these guys in Paris. And they're like, okay, then you can work with us if you know fucking Johnny from Paris. We just like, yeah, if his name's Johnny, we know Johnny. So yeah, we've been working with them, my guy Anand, since then.
Wow.
In India. And last November I went there and it was epic.
Talk about, so that was the first time you were visiting to see.
Yeah, the factories and stuff. And it was actually an accident again. Me and Robbie went out to Japan. We're in 8 stores out there. It was pretty cool. So we went out there. Our collection was delayed coming into Ireland. So I was like, I don't want to fucking go home. I'm all the way over here. And I don't have a real job, so I can do whatever I want. So I went to Sri Lanka because Byron again,
Okay.
had told me it was class. So I went out there surfing. And I was working out there and I was like on the phone to our manufacturers in India. And I was like, haha, we're in the same area. Like I'm in Sri Lanka. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, you're a 40-minute flight away. Come over. And I was like, well, I didn't know. I didn't understand that. I was like, I was actually that close.
Right.
So I went to the airport next day, tried to get a flight to India. They said, get fucked, get a visa. Which
Right.
was the only country that the beautiful Irish passport and white privilege did not
Did
let
I?
me straight in the door. Which I thought you could just do that.
Right.
Went to India like 5 days later, got a visa, and then met Anand and just saw the factories there for the next 4 days. I saw Pretty Raw, which is class. I think a lot of people go over there. It's like a whole, they know months in advance, and then they schmooze up everything and everything looks polished. But I was just kind of there. Anand didn't tell me when he picked me up from the airport that it was like a 5-hour drive then. So it was like, oh, you're a 40-minute flight away. You're 5 hours driving through these like fake motorways with cows running down the middle of them.
Crazy.
And then
That must have been a pretty emotional experience to go and actually see the
Yeah.
things you've been shipping in this whole time.
it was amazing. Well, just to see like the guy that we've been talking to for years.
Right.
Like he took me out with his family for dinner. He brought me to his grandparents' house. I was like,
Wow.
It was like I got like the full shebang. It was really good. I really liked it.
It's amazing.
But yeah, it was amazing to see where it all happens. Like,
Do you think that experience changed anything about how you approach the creation of the clothing going forward?
yeah, there's a lot of learnings. The main ones were like when I wouldn't understand things, there's a delay and I didn't understand why, and I get pissed off. I could be like, I now get it. There's also things where there'd be delays, and now I'd be pissed off because I know he's bullshitting me.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like, you fucking have been making that up for years. I was just there. That doesn't happen. And then there's other things where he's like says this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a real thing.
You're almost developing a closer relationship then, because there's like more honesty then has to come.
100%. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. That was really fucking a mad experience.
Incredible. And so what's Robbie's sort of background in fashion? What angle does he come at it from?
So he has a deep love for street culture, basketball culture. He plays basketball at a pretty high level in Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's always been like fond of that and that kind of cultural side of things. So like, that's where a lot of his ideology would come from. So that's where we can clash on that things. Where he wants to like base these things off like American street culture, basketball culture, where I'm just like, I want to make clothes for less reasons than I want to make these clothes because they're cool, kind of thing.
But that actually makes a lot of sense, hearing you describe your background and then Robbie's sort of interest in basketball culture.
Yeah.
Like, hearing those two tastes coming together creates the vibe that I would understand Emporium to sort of emanate, which is like a meeting point between fashion, streetwear, athleticism, and sort of lifestyle.
I think it's very clear if you hear like the backgrounds and stuff.
Because it's also clearly something that a lot of people resonate with. Like, you know, this is another question I was going to ask you, just about sort of the experience of going out on a night out, even in Dublin, and seeing maybe like 80% of the room in Emporium clothing. Does that trip you out at all, or what's that experience like?
Man, we sold a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like, if you just go, like, made a lot of t-shirts, sold a lot of t-shirts, and we said we sell so many t-shirts in Dublin. And it doesn't trip me out because I know we make the best t-shirts.
Right.
So people are making the right call.
Great.
It's more getting tripped out when you see someone not Emporium. Okay. What are you doing? Wasting your time with some freaking shit t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's that, not wearing an Emporium t-shirt. But yeah, I think definitely at the start, there was a period, like, I remember when we first kind of made like an online store, we weren't just doing pop-ups. And like, obviously for the first few months, like, it was just names you knew. And I remember the first time being like, I'd be like, Robbie, you know that name? He's like, never seen that name in my life. And now if I open Shopify or anything, I'm like, I'm hyped when I do see a name I know.
Right.
Like, vice versa. Like, I'm excited to see someone I know. But like, I guess we've been doing it a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually didn't realize it was that long. Like,
it doesn't feel that long. Well, it does. Because I've never really seen this as a job. I still don't. Because then I think I'd dislike it more. I just sort of be doing it every day. Like, I never look at our numbers. I never want to know what's going on. If we're making money or not. If I'm going to be paid or not.
So what would be your typical work day, or does it depend on whatever the current project is?
I don't think it's a typical day at the moment because I was living in London for like 6 months because I kind of wanted to change the scenery. And then the second I moved, we were really busy out here. So I was kind of like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of thing. But yeah, I'm trying to change our typical day in Dublin because my typical day in Dublin is way too much hanging out at the moment. If I end up going into the shop, I just so many people come in that I know and stuff, and then can easily get nothing done all day and feel like you've had a productive day because you've been talking to people all day. You like trick a productive day and then you stack a load of those and then 2 weeks later nothing has changed and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Then I take a fit. I get real. Like, once every 2 weeks I got like real bogged down to Robbie. I was like, oh, this isn't working. We're not doing this right. He's like, chill the fuck out. Like, you made all of this up. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a sign of a good partner, I guess, you know,
Yeah.
maintaining that perspective. So when would you focus on creative work?
I try to design something every day. Just because, like, when you're in the shop, you can end up just not... You can do a lot of things that are positive in the moment, but I try to do something positive for the future every day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like doing something that will, like, designing a piece of clothes, making like content of some sort, making a plan for some clothes kind of thing, like log in creative time. So most days I try to do my emails first thing on the train to town, and then between like 10 and 12 are the most productive hours. So I kind of lock in for those two. Try get like laptop time done.
Right.
Before people start showing up and when I've had my coffee. Um
And what's that? Is that time the creative time, like the designing time, or is it very admin-y, or is
that's
it...
normally I'll try to do my admin like before that.
Okay.
Like try admin, or like I'll read all my emails on the train. And stuff like that, and then I'll get in, I'll try to do design. And then between 12 and like 4, like anything can happen.
Right.
Like I could just be left to design. There might be meetings I have to take. Might need to go somewhere. Might just end up fucking talking to people.
Yeah.
And then 4 to 6 I'll normally design again. Go home, and then I'll like do that research in the evening to do the work the next morning.
Okay.
That's normally always the goal.
And what would be your approach to design now? Like when you begin those creative sessions, what's your first step?
I think it always depends where I am. Like I find a lot of creativity in like I like to try travel as much as possible. So like if it's an opportunity to leave the country, I'll just go somewhere. I've got a good few friends who live across Europe and stuff. So sometimes I'll just text them nicely and be like, hey, I'm coming to stay on your couch. Please and thank you.
Yeah, great.
I find that a really good way to... I feel like new places is always like creative burst. Well, not even new places, but different places. Like that's kind of what happened to me moving to London. Like I know London, I've been there a lot. But I just needed to change, and I feel like it like worked. I also love deep diving on magazines and stuff.
Right.
So I love like either going down like clothing magazines for like shapes and stuff, or like looking at Japanese magazines. They're cool as fuck. And then like over the last 2 weeks I fixated on the New Yorker. I'd say I looked at every New Yorker between 1930 and 1960, pulling out shit. So I'll find a new magazine. I'll just stumble across a different magazine in the next few weeks, which I'll fixate on.
Yeah, great.
Look at every single one.
That it seems to be like your main source of inspiration is like an aesthetic or like a vibe that you like in print media that you're like looking for and then taking from that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of print media
Yeah.
from the 80s, 60s, 80s. I think you get like between the 40s and the 60s, all the art was amazing because it was all just like, I find it insane that there's that much physical art put into every magazine every month. So I guess like I think I really like that as a concept.
Yeah, sort of like the second Renaissance a little bit, that period of time, like going into the 60s of people being repressed, and then like going the complete opposite direction. And it's I feel like any turning period like that is like bound for interesting things to come out of it. What about, so a little bit about like Japan, like has that always been, I feel like, an interest of yours, like just as a place, the aesthetic, or is
Firstly, I think it's the coolest fucking place ever with the coolest people ever. So I think that's a good, like, I think it's so amazing in every way. There's obviously fucking problems there's with everywhere, but like I think it's just a really good place. When I was like 18, me and my friends, when everyone was going to like Magaluf on like lads holiday, we went to Japan. There was no reason we did it. Like we just got cheap flights. Well, so like 6 of us went to Japan for like 2 weeks. And I think I just thought it was amazing. We got the opportunity for someone to hold our brand in Japan. So we have like a distributor out there. So we send them like our collection at the start of the season, and they sell it to Japanese stores.
And what's the vibe of Japanese streetwear? Is streetwear sort of different wherever you go?
I think it's hard to tell because they're like so like all of European and American fashion is just Japanese fashion a year later.
Right. I feel like they've always had sort of an element of the future baked into them. Like they focus on the very
cool, like precision, like type side of things.
Yeah, I always see it as like very thought of, like precise.
Yeah.
curated shapes. Like they will dress in like the style and the blocks of the clothes are amazing.
Interesting.
And streetwear as a style, was that ever a like preconceived plan that that's the look you guys wanted to go after, or did that just come about from your influences naturally over time?
I think that just came about. I used to skate badly when I was like 15, 16. And I always thought that was cool as fuck. And I think there's a part of that obviously in streetwear, and then Robbie's from the basketball perspective. So I guess that was just a accumulation of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Again, it's like speaks to the marriage of both of your tastes coming together to form that like that vibe, I suppose.
I hate the term streetwear these days.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think it's really tacky in a weird way. I think streetwear these days just makes me think of like fake Instagram brands that there's just like fast fashion trends, I guess, which isn't really true, but
no, but I get what you mean. I feel like that word has been bastardized in the sense of like that's being used to sell everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Just fucking call it streetwear and someone might buy it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think what I found recently, which I dislike, well, I think it's been the case for years, but maybe I only noticed it recently. But just everyone is a marketing agency for their own thing. Like, all you need to be able to do is not all, but like, you could make the world's greatest product, and if you can't make a fucking 10-second ad of it, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Which I dislike.
Yeah, that's interesting because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Emporium's promotional work because it always seems so refined and put together. But I actually might generalize a little bit first and ask about branding, because was that a skill that you guys really honed in on and thought about hard in the beginning?
No, because we've accidentally changed our logo multiple times, in the sense that our first logo was like a collegiate arc,
right,
with Emporium, and then like I think early on I lost that, so I rebuilt it, and then I noticed we printed it, and it was like, well, this could actually be a bit different. And then more recent times we went to pull it out again. I was like, I've got 3 versions of this. Like, which one is the right one?
Right.
So I guess I don't think that was very important to us.
And what about the distinctive green? Like, whenever I look at that, I always thought Ireland, but is that right, or was there no real conscious decision behind that either? It just sort of came about.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think Evergreen, we call it Emporium Green, with just like the first t-shirt we did, which wasn't black or white. I can't remember what its reference was, the green. Yeah, I think it was just a wearable other color. I think we probably wanted to go down that path. That green Pantone we've used that. That hasn't changed. That's the only consistent through Emporium over the last 6 years.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because from an outside perspective, I would say like the branding is so solid, but like that's a thing that I feel like maybe that only comes after though, that you gather momentum and more people start wearing it. I don't know.
I think that's consistency rather than the branding. I think the main positive we've done ever at Emporium is stay consistent. I think that's the only reason we're here.
And what is the nature of that consistency? Like, is that just delivering a product that's always at the same high quality, or is it more than that?
Like, our quality's been A1 since day one. Again, like, was that luck? I don't know. We made a really good t-shirt. We made some really good hoodies, and then we were like, this is perfect. And not much has changed. Our t-shirt block has changed, but we use the same cotton that we have. And our hoodie has marginally changed block-wise, style-wise. But again, I think it's the same weight and the same cotton as always.
So in terms of consistency, it would be like, I'm getting the sense of like, no matter what I buy from Emporium, I know it's just going to be like the exact same level of like what I like about it.
Yeah. And what I also mean by consistency is like we've been making clothes for like X amount of time. And I think probably for a while we weren't like progressing in the sense of like innovative clothes. We were just kind of making clothes, but like doing events and stuff. So I think it's the consistency mix of not actually the clothes, but like the events and all the other outgoings. I guess.
Yeah.
Because events are such a big part of Emporium, and you know, going back to what we were saying earlier, it makes sense that was the seed, sort of that community element of bringing people together was the seed for the entire thing.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, obviously we've done, before we had the physical shop, we used to do events every couple of months. Different forms of events. We did, can't even remember that. We did so many. We just used to host pop-ups for brands and ourselves when we were starting to become a brand. And then we've hosted gigs, football tournament. So yeah, that's where, I mean, consistency, like we've always done something every couple of months, or more often, like every 2 months, I'd say, in the form of some sort of event. This was before we had the shop. And then when we had the shop for a pop-up this time 2 years ago. So we had it November, December 23, in the exact same space. And how that came about was actually crazy. We were trying to get a physical space for those months leading up to Christmas for ages. And then we had been on and off with this place on Clarendon Street. And we got strung along for ages, and then they pulled out last minute. And then I was at work that day, and I was so pissed. And then I walked around Dublin city centre, taking picture of every like empty lot I could find, and called them all the next morning. And then we ended up having them spot on Jerry Street, get back to us, viewed it the next day, had the keys the Monday.
Wow.
So it was like between Thursday and Monday, we had the unit on Jerry Street when the other one had taken us. Fucking,
that's crazy.
2 months of pissing around.
I'm getting the vibe that that's just how you operate though as well. Like you personally is like, you take action in that way. That's like just exactly, you do what you want in that sense.
Yeah, I think very hands-on, show up, knock on the door, like actually, yeah, exactly. It's like every day I need to do something.
Yeah.
Every time I need to do something actionful, it's like, go ahead, go show up and do it.
Because I get the sense as well that that's where the balance between you and Robbie comes in. Like, I don't know Robbie personally, but just through what we've been talking about, it feels like maybe you're sort of the more spontaneous energy, and Robbie is maybe this sort of like pillar of...
Robbie's very stable.
Right, stable, yeah.
Yeah, he's safe. He's a safe bet, Robbie. But you need that.
Oh yeah, it's vital, but I think maybe that's why it works.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very different. Like in another world, like we just happened to get put beside each other for multiple hours a day a few years ago.
Yeah.
I ended up working out, but like,
isn't that nuts? Like to think like on that first day of work that you would have looked at each other and been like, what will happen?
Yeah, it's crazy. So random.
Yeah.
Because like in another world, like me and Robbie just wouldn't get on.
Yeah.
Like if I met him in a different scenario, I'll be like, look at this square.
But that's always the great thing about creativity though. It's like you can have these two different energies, and when there's a vehicle to make something together, it's like usually interesting stuff comes out of that.
Yeah. Robbie's not a square. I love Robbie. I take that back.
I'll talk to him then like next, and I'll get his side of the fence. Yeah.
That'll be real fucking good.
So yeah, then just back to that transition from online to physical store, what sort of was that process like? So you get the keys, and then I imagine you're buying in a lot of product to get ready.
We were stock heavy for the purpose of having a shop.
Okay.
So we had to get that done.
Right.
Like the thing is different. Like I just do, when something's put in front of me, I just do it. Where Robbie like thinks about it. So like both work in their own way, where like Robbie will come up with a better solution probably, but we needed to do that, so I just did it. And then it was done. Like it could have went badly. That's the whole thing about doing. Like it might work 80% of the time, but 20% of the time you might be fucked. But also if you wait around for weeks, you might also be fucked. But yeah, we'd bought rails and we had clothes.
Right.
And what else do you need? We had no till.
Crazy.
We had a box of boxes and like a little card machine.
Yeah.
And our box of boxes was our till.
That's nuts.
Again, like I think a lot of this comes down to like Robbie spent years curating this like community, hosting events and stuff. And then again, the same as like the first pop-up, the first shop, we were so busy. Like we sold out before Christmas, like pretty much most of our stuff that year.
Wow.
Because people wanted to come in and support, I guess, that community aspect.
Right. I also think just from an outsider's perspective, you guys document that community experience really well. Like you have such a distinct look in terms of an online presence and through really specific photography,
Mm-hmm.
that it kind of blends the experience of the online store with the physical store perfectly.
Yeah. But again, like, I think that comes from like, I don't think, again, that's about having a look. I think well, no, it is about having a look, but it's about being consistent. Like, I decide what that look is every time. So it's my look, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't changed my opinion on things. I think it's the same thing. I think we're definitely progressing, but I think I'm just getting better at learning like how to shoot and how things should look.
Refining your creative voice.
Yeah. But I think that's come back to where I was saying, like, it's like still learning.
Yeah.
Like, I did a degree in engineering. Ravi studied geography in college. No one has any background in anything to do with anything in Emporium. And none of our staff now we have either.
Right.
I think we just have like creative people around us, I guess.
Mm.
And again, like, I think that's very important.
Yeah. Because that's one thing I would say about, like, again, from an outside perspective, you choose people who you work with very well.
Yeah. But you have to, because you've no other option, I guess. Because again, all you are is a marketing agency. It doesn't matter what clothes we have if people don't know what they are. Yes. And again, that like breaks down to like putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like who we have around us. Willis shoots all of our stuff. Do you know Willis?
Not personally, but very familiar with his work.
He's really talented.
For sure.
And then we have a PR manager.
Okay, cool.
Ruth. She's epic.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess we just have like a really strong bunch of creative people around us. We're good at doing what they do.
Interesting.
Andy Asco does a lot of our videography.
Yeah.
Do you know Andy?
I do, and I asked him the other night. Yeah.
So talented.
Yeah.
Like the most talented person ever.
Yeah, he is class.
He builds his own energy around him.
It's great.
Which I love.
Yeah.
I fucking love people doing their thing.
Right.
Which he does.
Yeah.
And
which you do as well. I feel like people that do it seek it out in other people too, because it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
I hate people trying to do it. You can tell so quickly when someone's trying to do someone else's thing.
Right.
Compared to, you can feel the energy of someone when they're like, this guy has made this plan for himself and is now completing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Or girl. But like when someone's just like on their own path, learning about what that is, I think it's a very powerful thing.
It's like the core of art. Like if you're looking at art of any kind, you're just like, you know, is this person being true to their voice and like what they actually want, or are they just trying to do something that they saw or whatever?
It's fucking hype. It's exciting. I'm like, when someone's telling me something, and it's like it's anything in life. When someone's telling you something that they truly are passionate about, you want to listen. Like, or you see someone doing something you can tell they're truly passionate about. You're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with these conversations. Like, they always seem so easy to have because I'm sitting down with the person and they're really talking about what they're passionate about.
Yeah, you're just sitting down asking people what they care about.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you brought someone on that wasn't doing what they care about, I think you'd find out very quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then just off that, you seem, as we talked about, to be somebody that their passion really lies in the moment. Like, you like taking action. Yeah. But how far in advance do you sort of plan or have to plan your next idea?
I think it's a weird balance where I really like the concept of like living in the moment, but again, making clothes is like living in 6 months in the future in the moment, or a year in the future in the moment. Like, you're never designing for now, you're designing for another point in time.
That's really interesting. Try and expand on that a little bit.
Well, I think I go in waves again. So like, we're running really late on designing spring summer 25. So it just wasn't flowing to me. And then in the last few weeks, I just like sat down for a couple of days, worked extenuous hours, and just did all of it. And like, it was always there. I always knew what it was going to be. It's now to get it there.
Talk about that creative moment. Like, how did it start flowing out? Did you do something different, or did it just?
I think I work in really high bursts and low bursts. I think it's like, I'll take 2 weeks where just like so focused, capable of working constantly, and then like after that I need to take a step back and go like, sometimes I won't be able to like work for a couple of days. Like, I'll always take out my laptop, I'll always like try, but I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just sitting here. Like, you can do other things, like you're still forwarding the process, but like sometimes there's only so many hours of like working hours you can do in a week.
Yes.
Again, that's where like it comes back to, though, like enjoying what you do. Like, I never want to I hate when I am not enjoying it. because I don't want to ever not enjoy it.
Yeah. And just to get really specific for a second, like when you're talking about these creative waves, are you like sitting at a laptop looking at Adobe Illustrator with like a blank piece of clothing on it? Is that how you're doing it? Or
No, I think I work like people who have like a background in like graphics or like designing clothes would get real uncomfortable looking at my laptop.
Okay.
I think I would just like throw loads of shit at the wall first. That's how I work. And then I'll look at that for ages and I'll know like all what's the term? Wide brush strokes. I can't remember. But I'll look at all of it and then like after a while I'll like step away from it and then I'll come back and I'll be like, that goes with that and that's that.
Right.
And that piece needs to be there and that doesn't need a HUD, but that one needs a HUD. And then it's like it'll all just start to flow and then I'll start to see it all.
okay.
It always starts with way too many things in one place. And then I'll work out where those things are meant to be.
I feel like that's really common across a lot of creative things, which is like start with a load of stuff. Similar to writing, like write a load and then for the following drafts, you're just editing it down and refining it.
Yeah.
It sounds similar. So then for this collection that you're talking about designing, for someone who's never designed clothes and has no concept of it, like what are you going over? Is it like a theme that you're as a jumping off point? Or is it like photographs or
sometimes like I'll go like via shapes, then colors, then materials.
Right.
So like I'll have like, well no, go even further back. Say I'll have a vision for 3 outfits. So go outfits, then what the items are. So items, shapes of items, materials of items, colors of items. So like that is the pathway I think that I follow.
That's sort of the
like I'll have an vision for an outfit and I'm like, that would be hard as fuck.
Right.
If I wore X, Y, and Z together. And then I'm like, how do I make X, Y, and Z together?
Interesting. So do you think you're picturing yourself as the customer?
Always.
Okay.
I'm always trying to make the hardest outfit I can wear.
Interesting.
It's always been me trying to dress myself better.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Like
if we say it that way, yeah. But I think me and Robbie always talk about that where it's like, I think if I wouldn't wear it, I don't make it. I always say that.
Yeah.
And I hate when we get something where it comes in, I was like, that's fucking shit. And always when we get something that comes in, I'm like, that's fucking shit. It like sells out straight away.
Yeah. Of course.
Always the best seller.
Right.
I know fucking nothing.
But it's the same with like when someone like I mean, if you're making a film, you're making the film you want to watch. If you're writing something, you're writing what you want to read.
Yeah.
And then in the moments that you're like, oh, this doesn't actually represent me.
Yeah.
It's the most popular thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. It's one of those like paradoxes that you will just always hit, and they will drive you fucking nuts in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that you're the. I mean, obviously it makes sense because it's a creative process, and you're viewing yourself as the audience in terms of the customer. But like, do you find that each time you go back to doing this and you are the customer, do you find that like your style is evolving a certain way, or does it just change depending on what your likes are? Or
I've actually been thinking that recently. I don't think it is evolving. I think it's kind of like, I think for a while it was evolving. Not evolving, it was changing. But I think I've gone kind of back to where I was a few years ago.
And where was that? Like,
it was like I was working in in Brown Thomas, in a high-end retailer, like black trousers, a graphic T-shirt, and some sort of. I love Stone Island jackets. I have a lot of vintage Stone Island jackets because they're just so well made. They're fucking expensive, but they're fucking worth it. They're all like just how they're made, not how they're made, but the thought process behind all of them is just amazing. So like I'm kind of going back to that concept of dressing.
And how would you describe? Is that like a minimal type concept with like focus on the pieces being really good?
Yeah, I think it is very minimal. Like I prefer that. I prefer like I think if you find like how you want to dress, I guess.
Right.
But like that's kind of been, I did that for like a long time. Like I've just found like a shape and just like tried to use that shape in different materials and.
It's engineering.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's like very.
Yeah.
But it's just clothing. Like I mean, even what you're saying about the jackets, it's like. Engineers will say that about things like that, how they're built, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's very design focused, or not just design focused, but like construction focused as well.
Yeah.
So then, just on that, this collection that you're talking about, the spring summer one, what kind of creative directions are you taking with that?
It's got some fucking good shapes. Again, like it's got really different items to what we made before, and I think really items to like what like anyone's making. We've got like this like super heavy cotton chamois shirt, which is based off this shirt I bought in Japan.
Sick.
Which is actually I did some research on it. It's like an old American shirt.
Oh, really?
Which I was wearing for like as a jacket for ages. It's just like this like super heavy minimalist green shirt.
Awesome.
And then there's been a couple blocks I've taken. So there's a couple kind of, again, it's all like very simple cotton items. We're doing this like sailors. It's like a sailor overshirt.
Cool.
So, it's a pullover that it has nothing. There's no seams or pocketry or anything on the front.
Oh, sick.
Or the back, on the outside of the garment,
right?
Because it was built that way, so if you were sailing, you wouldn't get caught on anything. I don't know sailing terms.
Yeah, snagged.
Yeah, snagged. You wouldn't get snagged. That's how sailing. I don't know terms. You wouldn't get snagged or anything.
Yeah.
So it's got pockets like inside.
Oh, sick.
Inside the chest.
Wow.
But then we kind of made a bit of a twist on that. So it's kind of more cropped. It's got a little bit of a pull in. So it's kind of like a mix between that and like a old football warm-up training coat, and then we're doing some like ripstop pants because then that kind of matches the outdoor kind of vibe, I guess.
Sick.
So we're bringing with the sailing top.
Do you bring these designs to Robbie, and then do you start with like your process and then you bring it to him and he'll like have a say in it, or is he very much just like you're the guy?
No, he definitely has a say in all these things. If I like it or not, he'll have an opinion.
Do you find like your tastes align? Like if you like it, Robbie will most likely like it, or
sometimes.
Okay.
It's random.
Right.
We work on Robbie has a very regimented set of tastes. So I kind of know what he's gonna like or dislike, and sometimes you just have to say, "Fuck you, we're making this."
Right.
Because I want to. You design the clothes if you want to make that asshole. But then like there's something I'll design like speaking of that like not sailor's jacket but like this overshirt, not an overshirt. I designed it because I thought it was gonna be sick, and it was based off this other shirt I bought. And then when I designed it and the sample came in, I was like, oh, I don't fucking like this anymore.
Interesting.
And now he really likes it. I'm like, I want out of this, but we're gonna make it.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I guess that's again
that's the collaboration part of it, though. It's like
you
have like not just compromise, but like the unpredictability of being like, oh, I got this because I like it, so it never would have arrived for him to like if you hadn't begun with
exactly.
It's like unpredictable in that way.
And then we're making this jacket which has a really long neck, so it can kind of go above your jawline. It's kind of cropped, so that's gonna be sick.
Love that.
Again, like it's good. I think this collection is gonna be very different to previous collections.
Okay. Do you think because taking more creative, like maybe out there decisions, or like just because it's
again, I think it's like getting better at designing clothes, so I can without it taking as long. Like we've been trying to make these things for ages, but like we just keep getting samples back which aren't what we want them to look like. I think I'm a bit like I wouldn't put anything out that I wouldn't want to wear.
Right.
Like it wasn't. Like not if I wouldn't want to wear, but like if I didn't feel like it was up to the standard, I don't want to put it out.
Feels like your skills are arriving to where your taste would be a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's
that's a great place to be. I mean, that you want to be
100%
slightly chasing that always, but
that's
it feels better as well because you feel like you're making progress.
Yeah,
like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I meant.
Exactly.
But that's great. The other thing, like, so you're going to New York on Monday.
Yeah.
And what is that trip for? Is that for this collection or?
We're gonna shoot some of this collection out there.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna have a drop, at the start of December.
Sick.
So the final stuff of the year. So we'll shoot that out there. We're doing a pop-up, one day out there.
First one in New York or?
First one in New York. It's my first time in New York.
Is it really?
I've never been.
No way.
So we just got the opportunity, because we hosted the guys from Brigade from New York. Then like come out, and then it's kind of that mid period, middle of November, and we're like, fuck it, we'll do that.
Great.
Pop up out there as well.
First trip to New York, and it's with something you care about.
Yeah.
You know,
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this collaboration with Brigade and others like Adidas and the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you guys are the kings of working with other people in that way. Like, you know, so what's your approach to that side of things? How does that typically come together?
I think like a lot of it, like I think the Steelers is a bad example, but for other examples, like I think a lot of it comes up later because I get overexcited. I'll just I'll be talking to someone like, we should do something together. Like I'm always saying that. I'm trying not to do that anymore.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm just trying to be more conscious with it.
Okay.
But like the Steelers one was just like, it was such a good opportunity. The NFL, we got a DM from the NFL at NFL.
Wow.
Just DM'd us on Instagram. We're like fucking
crazy.
I thought it was fake for the first years. I didn't even open it. We just got a DL from at NFL. I was like, the fuck's this? And then it was just like some being like, yo, how do we contact you? Then we got on a call with them, and they were like, game in Dublin. We found you guys. Do you want to do something? Where I guess we can't say no to this one.
Incredible.
So that was really fun.
And did you feel more pressure because it was a big brand or a big name?
No pressure.
Okay.
I think I get stressed by things, but I don't feel pressure by them. I get stressed by the concept of not doing something on time.
Right.
And did you find the designing process harder because there was a mold placed on you, or was there?
No, I think we were pretty much told to do whatever the fuck we wanted, which was kind of insane.
Okay.
I think since we weren't in the US, like we were talking to other people we know in the US of doing collabs with the NFL and stuff before, and like it's so regimented.
Really?
But I think we were just so far away from them. They kind of forgot about us. We just did it, and they're like, yeah, do whatever.
It's crazy.
Which was crazy. So with them, it was just like, yeah, we had free reign. I do what I always do with like working with like a bigger company, or like not a bigger company actually, just anyone who has like a history. Like I'll like deep dive.
Great.
Everything about them, where they came from.
Yeah.
Like what the Steelers was. The Steelers was fucking obviously steel mines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they got their name.
Awesome.
And I guess we pulled some information from like some of their old school jerseys, and then Robbie actually had like a vintage Steelers top.
That was sick.
Just randomly. So we're like, we gotta fucking look at that as well. So
Yeah.
I think that's where
that's awesome.
that kind of linked up.
That's great. So that's an example of somebody approaching you about it. Do you guys ever seek out artists for t-shirts and stuff like that, or like for other things that you're like, I wanted this kind of collab? Even like,
yeah, I feel like we work with people that we're close with, so I don't think there's ever like that question. I think it's like it just naturally forms, and then trying to work out what collabs we've done recently. We did Steelers. This year we did too many. We did Padmore and Barnes. We went to them about that.
Okay.
Padmore and Barnes are a shoe company from Kilkenny. So they're the original makers of the Clarks. So the Wallabies used to be made in Kilkenny, and then Padmore and Barnes made them, and then Clarks at whatever point in time went, we can't afford to make. Well, we don't want to make them here, probably cost reasons.
Yeah.
But it was Padmore and Barnes' shape.
Right.
So that we're going to continue making our shoe. So we went to them and be like, we want to work with you guys. And they're like, yeah, hell yeah.
It's great.
Did the Adidas collab.
Yeah. Talk about that. Actually.
Yeah, that was sick. That was another one where we were left to our own devices. And then we did it. We ended up doing a really good event. I was really happy with that. And then again, posted pretty good content about it. And that came about just a friend working in Adidas. We'd worked with them for a while. They'd kind of given us stuff for shoots. And then I was kind of like, constantly, can we do an event? Can we do something? So yeah, that was a little one-off. I'll do more of that next year.
That's great.
We did just some local artists.
Yeah.
Like Softboy and stuff. We did pop
with
them.
Yeah.
And then obviously like we're really good friends with Abdu, Kaki Kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just done bits and bobs like that. Yeah.
So cool. You guys are so busy all the time. It's kind of like, or does it feel that way, or to you, does it just kind of just feel like you're just...
It kind of just feels like, I never saw Emporium as a job. It's just like full-time hanging out with some clothing designer there.
Yeah.
And that's again, like everyone we work with we're tight with. Like I never work with someone I don't want to work with.
Right.
If I ever show up somewhere, like that's the beauty of it. Like I've spent all these years building it, and like if I show up somewhere, not in a rude way, but like if I show up somewhere there's someone like I don't want to work with them. I'm just saying, I'm not doing this. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
I guess it is in a rude way, but that's tough titties. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like part of your success and part of your nature is to be like, is to have that energy of being like, I want it this way and let's do it this way and like, let's do it now and let's act on it now.
Yeah.
And like
Definitely.
being that honest with yourself and the people that you're with is only going to benefit.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I think that's really funny because me and Robbie differ on that so much.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm saying the shit, he's like, no. And I'm like, one of us is going to have to stand back and take a deep breath.
Yeah.
We evenly share that standing back and taking a deep breath. But we'll argue. We'll get real fucking, we'll get heated.
Good.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary when you're like, because that's a sign of you're both being honest with each other.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's funny as fuck. 'Cause, like, we obviously work a lot out of the shop.
Yeah.
Like, the guys we all work in the shop with, we're all fucking tight. We're all homies. But, like, they're coming in and we're just fucking roaring at each other.
Right.
Mom and dad are fighting again.
Yeah. It seems like it's a kind of like sibling brother relationship in a way that's like,
Yeah.
you know, because it's odd to like the way that you met was through work, and then it seemed like, was there much time between like that forming of like any friendship colleague thing to like starting this together?
No, man, I don't even know where colleague and friendship ends and lies and like.
Right. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it feeds into everything else we'd say. I mean, that it's not a
but like someone not posed the question, but like someone said something to me the other day about like me and Robbie's friendship versus colleagues, and I was like, I actually have no answer for that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have to really step back and take some time to work out where Robbie sits in my life.
Right.
I don't have to. Like, he's a very good friend of mine, but like, would it be so different if we were to like if we didn't start Emporium together? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And would this isn't the first time you've talked at length about you guys and the starting of this? I'm sure you've done a lot of articles and interviews and stuff.
I've done it a handful of times. I always really enjoy doing it because how often do you do this? Like maybe once every 6 months or once a year. But like it's a good way to. It's like a fucking therapy session, an Emporium therapy session.
Yeah.
Where I just get to talk through all my thoughts about, I guess, my life. Do you know what I mean? Like Emporium is the only thing I do. I guess that I'm running and I can't run now, so. Emporium is now the only thing I do. I don't really drink or party that much anymore. Which is to Robbie's demise. Now I'm on his line all the time. I used to be at least hungover 2 days a week. And you get that time to think.
Yeah.
And now I'm fucking belling his line 7 days a week. You're like, let's talk about that t-shirt I designed.
Yeah.
Fucking goat on the back. Be like, fuck off, Charlie.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So then just to wrap this up, I guess we touched on it already a little bit with the next collection and heading to New York, but are there any other sort of wildest dreams, big picture plans for Emporium coming up that, you know, or is that way of thinking the same as your work in the sense of it comes in waves and you take it project by project?
I think the day by day is really important to me. Just taking it one step at a time, because thinking about bigger picture is the same as like looking at the numbers. It's like you have to do it. Like you have to be real and like fucking it's like, I guess I really enjoy being in the present and doing that just what's going on in my life and like working off that. And I don't like once or twice a year Robbie will be like, you have to look at the numbers with me, like look at these things, and I'll just be like, yeah, okay, and I'll just yeah my way through the conversation unless he says we're doing terribly. Where like every couple of months where you call me like we're fucked next month, and then we'll actually have to sit down and talk about it.
Right.
And we're never fucked.
Yeah.
We'll be grand.
Yeah.
There's a point this year where it's like it was all going really well, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we can't be paid for the next like 2 months. And then you just have to take those
as they come.
Take those in your stride, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to be resilient. I think the whole thing is being resilient and being consistent.
Yeah.
I'm very positive. I kind of see it in the sense I don't know how people wouldn't be. So I don't know why. Like that's so close-minded. Like obviously people live different lives, and there's highs and lows in everyone's life, and like life changes. But like you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not doing that. It's only you. When it comes down to fucking the end of the day, it's your life, and you have to live your life, not live someone else's. And no one else is gonna live their life for you.
Yeah.
So why would you do that for someone else? So I guess like that's again like this is what I think putting my best foot forward looks like, I guess.
Yeah.
And what I need to do to put my best foot forward is put myself out there. And if your best foot forward doesn't look like that, do whatever you think your best foot forward looks like.